Welcome once again to 242 Math. I am your host Raphael Thompson, and today my daughter Rafaela is our student. This is the first of a number of BJC revision tests I have compiled for those of you doing BJC work. Each test consists of 20 general revision questions to help you. Okay, Rafaela, read number 1.
To the nearest 10, some 20 persons travel daily on the ferry to Blue Lagoon Island. Give the minimum number of persons who could possibly travel to Blue Lagoon Island daily.
Okay, let's give those who are watching a chance to look at it and to work it. We want the minimum number of persons who travel to Blue Lagoon Island. And to the nearest 10, some 20 persons travel daily on the ferry. And that answers to the nearest 10 already. So those of you watching, go ahead, put an answer before Rafaela tries to attempt. Okay, Rafaela, what is the answer?
15.
And tell us why.
Because the question asks for the minimum number of persons, and is the number 20, and the
if you round 15,
number.
round 15 to the nearest 10, what answer would you get? Round 15 to the nearest 10, what's the answer?
20.
If you round 14 to the nearest 10, what's the answer?
10.
10. So 14 is not the answer. 15 to the nearest 10 is 20. 16 to the nearest 10.
20.
17 to the nearest 10.
20.
18 to the nearest 10.
20.
19 to the nearest 10.
20.
Very good. Okay. Go to number 2.
Set A equals 2, 0, negative 1, a half, 0.2, 3, negative 5, and the square root of 2. Write the integers.
Let the persons who are watching try to work it first. And tell us what are integers, Rafaela?
Integers are positive numbers, negative numbers, and 0.
So you look for your positive numbers and the negative numbers and 0. Write the answer for us, Rafaela, for number 2.
2,
Comma.
0, negative 1, 3, negative 5, and that's it.
Why isn't a half an integer?
Because it's not a whole number.
It's what? Fraction. 0.2, why isn't that an integer?
Because it's not a whole number, it's a decimal.
And why isn't the square root of 2 an integer?
Because it's not a whole number, it's also a decimal.
Okay, it'll be 1 point something for the answer for that. Okay, very good. Okay, let's move on to number 3. Read it.
The average monthly rainfall for Eleuthera was 1.5283 inches. Write this number correct to one decimal place.
Now we're dealing with decimal places, and let's see how she can handle that. If you're looking, that number is 1.5283. Okay, how do you work it, Rafaela? Go ahead. What do you look at?
You look at the place where you're rounding.
One place, so she's looking at the 5 and the number behind it.
2.
The number behind it is a 2. So what do?
If it's 5 or more, then you add 1 to the number. But since it's less, you keep it at 5.
So what's the answer?
1.5
Write it.
inches.
Inches. Very good. Okay, now we're at number 4. Read it, Rafaela.
Tom is 3 years old and Pam is 5 years old. What is the ratio of Pam's age to Tom's age?
Okay, let them try work it before you do it. Okay, go ahead, Rafaela. Let's work it.
Pam's age is 5, and Tom's age is 3. So the answer is 5, 3.
Or 5 to 3. Okay, 5 to 3 is the answer. Why did you put the 5 first?
Because it said, the question reads, what is the ratio of Pam's age to Tom's age?
So you put Pam's age first, and then put Tom's age last. Okay, read the next one now, number 5.
Pat places $1,000 in a bank for 1 year at a rate of 5%. Calculate the simple interest.
Okay, and give me the formula for simple interest.
The formula for simple interest is principal times rate times
The time all over.
100.
Okay, let me see you do the working and then you're going to work it out.
The principal is how much money it is.
So put SI. Put SI is equal to, no, put it under so I can see it. Put it under it so I can see it. SI is equal to, and put, what's the principal? What number is the principal? 1,000. That's the amount of money times the rate.
5%.
So put the 5 on the top. You're going to put the 100 on the bottom after you finish. Times the amount of time.
1 year.
1 year times 1. And put it all over.
100.
All over 100. Very good. So that's the formula right there with the numbers. The principal is the amount of money you put in the bank. It's $1,000. The rate is the percentage. And you put the 100 on the bottom because it's 5%. So you put the 5 and put the 100 on the bottom. And then times the year. How many years it is, the amount of time. 1. Okay, what do you do next, Rafaela? Divide by, you can divide by 100. So take 2 zeros, put a line through 2 zeros on the bottom. That leaves 1. Just put a line through it and then put a line through 2 zeros on the top. That leaves 10 on the top. What do you have on the top? What numbers are you left with on the top?
10, 5, and 1.
10 times 5 times 1. Put equal and put the answer for me and put it in dollars. Equal to the back of it. To the back of it. Yeah, equal. And put the dollar sign.
10 times 5 is 50. 50 times 1 is 50.
Put the dollar sign. Dollar sign. So you're left with $50 and there's 1 on the bottom. So whatever you have on the top would be the answer. That's correct. Very good. Okay, Rafaela, read number 6.
A store on Carmichael Road has a 3-piece front room suite for $1,200 if you are paying cash. Otherwise, you can use their hire purchase plan by making a 10% deposit and paying a 12 monthly installments of $99.99. Calculate the deposit.
Okay, so the question is only asking you to calculate the deposit. The purchase plan is used when you don't have available cash. And of course, it would be more money than the cash price of the front room suite. Okay, Rafaela, let's do the working at the back. Calculate the deposit. So what do you look for?
The deposit.
What is it?
10%.
So 10% of what? Write that at the back for us so we can see what you're working. Go ahead.
10% of $1,200.
Okay, let's bring it back to the question so we can see where you got that from. Okay, it says you have to make a deposit of 10%. Don't worry about the 12 monthly installments. You're just worrying about the deposit. And it costs $1,200. So those are where the numbers came from. Let me bring it back. Okay, Rafaela, continue the working. Equal, but equal to the bottom. Right,
And
go ahead.
since the deposit is in percentage, the 10 is, you put 10 over 100. And of means times.
Okay.
And put 1,200 over 1.
Very good.
Then you multiply.
Cancel out first. Before you, what can you cancel? Cancel, divide by 100. 100 into 1,200. Take off 2 zeros of that and 2 zeros of the 1,200. That's the easy way to do it. So you're left with 1 on the bottom. What are you left with on the top?
10 and 12.
10 times 12. What's 10 times 12 but equal? And what's 10 times 12?
120
120. And the answer is in?
dollars.
Dollars. $120. Okay. Put the answer there. Bring it back. Okay. We are going to number 7. Go to number 7. Read it.
The Venn diagram shows the preference of some students in a class for black or white crabs. How many students like black crabs?
Okay, let me show a close-up of the Venn diagram. Okay, go to the Venn diagram. Let us see how you're going to do this one.
If you look at the circle, it has 10 and 3.
Which circle are you looking at?
The circle with the black crab.
Yeah, so you have to look at the circle for black crabs. Okay, go ahead. So what do you do?
Add 10 and 3.
And what's the answer?
13.
Put the answer there. And that would be in students. 13 students. Okay, so understand what you did now. It says how many students like black crabs. So you have to look at the total circle for black crabs. So whatever numbers they have, you have to add the 10 and the 3. They did not say black crabs only, so that would have been the 10. And they didn't say black and white crabs would be the number in the middle. So you add the numbers in the circle for black crabs. 10 plus 3, 13 students. Go to number 8, Raffaello. Read it.
2 to the third power plus the square root of 9.
How do you work it?
Add, multiply 2 3 times.
Why do you multiply 2 3 times?
Because the 3 represents how many times you multiply 2.
What do you call the 3?
The power.
Or begin with EX. X begins with X. EXP.
Exponent.
Exponent. So it's the power or exponent. The power or exponent shows you how many times you multiply. What do you call it? 2?
The base.
Base. So work it for me. 2 to the power 3. Write it over there so they'll understand. Put 2 to the power 3 and then show me how you're going to work it.
Two to the power of 3 equals 2 times 2 times 2.
Equal.
2 times 2 is 4, and 4 times 2 is 8.
Okay, so that's 8. Now, you have something else to do.
The square root of 9.
What's the square root of 9?
3.
How do you know that?
Because 3 times 3 is 9.
Okay, so 3 times 3 is 9. So the square root of 3 times 3, you would use one of the 3's. Put the square root of 3 times 3 across here in the rough way. Just put the square root symbol. Write the square root symbol. And put 3 times 3 inside. Make the line a bit longer. And put 3 times 3. 3 times 3. Okay. And she put the square root symbol and put 3 times 3. So you want to square root of that, you just write one of the 3's. So the answer would be 3. So what 2 numbers would you add? Do it over here first. What 2 numbers you add? What's 2 to the power 3?
8.
8. So 8 plus
3.
8 plus 3. Your answer?
11.
Put the answer in. Okay, so she had to work out 2 to the power 3, which is 8, and then the square root of 9, which is 3. 8 plus 3 is 11. Okay, let's look at number 9, Raffaello.
Convert this fraction to a decimal.
You should be able to do this right off. You should memorize what's a quarter, what's a half, and what's 3/4 to change them to a decimal. What's a half as a decimal?
0.5.
What's a quarter as a decimal?
0.25.
What's 3/4 as a decimal?
0.75.
All you have to do is think of money. 1/4 is 25 cents, 0.25. 3/4 is 75 cents, 0.75. Raphael, I want you to work it by dividing. In case you forgot, divide the 4 into the 3. Let's go. So put 4, bottom number, division box, and put a box for division. Put 4 on the outside, 4 on the outside, 3 on the inside. Go ahead and work it. 4 into 3.
4 into 3 goes 0 times.
Add a 0 to the 3. And put a point behind that 0. Say 4 into
30.
4 into 30.
7 times.
Put the 7 over the 0. 7 for us.
28.
Put the 28 under the 30 and subtract.
You're left with 2.
And you add a 0 to the 2. Add a 0 to the 2. So now you say 4 into
20.
4 into 20.
5 times.
Put the 5. Put the answer under the 20 and subtract.
4 times 5 is 20.
Once you get zeros, it means you're done. Okay? So that's how come you can divide and find the answer. 0.75. Very good. Okay, Rafaela, we get to number 10 now. And I need you to read it.
Judy works for 40 hours and is paid $8 an hour. She is paid time and a half overtime. Calculate her overtime pay only for working 52 hours.
Okay, so Judy normally works for 40 hours, but if she works any time longer than that, she's paid overtime. Overtime is paid at $8 an hour, but she worked for 52 hours. So first you need to see regular work hours is 40. So you need to see how many overtime hours she had. So Rafaela, do the rough work over here at the bottom for me, right at the bottom here. So put regular hours, put regular hours. And put the regular hours is 40. Then put the hours she worked. How many hours did she work under that? Or work hours, put work hours under that. Or work hours. 52. She worked for 52 hours. Under that put overtime. Just put overtime. And put small letters for hours. Overtime. Hours. Equal. Give me a number for overtime hours. How many hours did she work overtime?
12.
12. Why?
Because
52.
52 minus 40 is
52
12.
minus 40 is 12. So she overtime hours is 12 hours. Hours. Put hours at the bottom. Now we're not done. We know the overtime hours, but it didn't ask for that. The question says, calculate her overtime pay for working for 52 hours. So we have to figure out the overtime pay. Now she's paid $8 an hour, and it says the overtime is time and a half. So you need to know what time is, and you need to know what a half is. So over here, right, time is equal to, and what does time stand for? She's paid time and a half. What's time? How much money?
$8.
So put $8 for time. Under that put a half. Under time put half. A half equals, what's half of 8?
4.
So put $4. Put a line under that and add them because it says time and a half. So that means time plus a half time is
$12.
$12. So put $12. So overtime pay is $12. Now, overtime pay is $12. You have to do something else now to find the answer because it says calculate overtime pay. So put under that, put pay. Pay is the overtime pay is equal to, how would you find overtime pay? You multiply the overtime hours, 12. So write 12 times the overtime pay times 12. So it's 12 hours times $12. Answer?
144.
Equal $144. Write it. Very good. Okay, so we had several things to do there. First, you have to figure out the regular hours is 40. Figure out the overtime hours. If she worked for 52 hours, then it was 12 hours. 12 hours overtime. And once you find the overtime hours, you need to find the overtime pay. If she is paid time and a half, time is $8. That's how much she's paid an hour. Time is $8. And then a half is $4. So you add 8 and 4. For time and a half is 8 and 4, which is $12. Multiply the overtime pay times the overtime hours, 12 times 12. And that's how come we got to $144. That would be our overtime pay for working 52 hours instead of 40 hours. Okay, Raphael, read number 11.
If 1 mile is 1.609 kilometers, calculate the length of New Providence to the nearest kilometer if it is 21 miles long.
And how would you work that?
Multiply 1.609 kilometers by 21.
Okay, so you got to work it for us. Go ahead.
1.609 times 21.
Work it.
1 times 9 is 9. 1 times 0 is 0. 1 times 6 is 6. And 1 times 1 is 1. Add a 0. Cross out the 1. 2 times 9 is 18. 2 times 0 is 0. 0 plus 1 is 1. 2 times 6 is 12. 2 times 1 is 2. And 2 plus 1 is 3. Then add.
Tell us what you're doing.
9 plus 0 is 9. 0 plus 8 is 8. 6 plus 1 is 7. 2 plus 1 is 3. And 0 plus 3 is 3. And there are 3 spaces, 3 numbers after the decimal point. So that's 3 decimal places. So that means in the answer you go 3 spaces to the left. 1, 2, 3.
So what's the answer?
33.789 miles.
No, what's the question asking you? Calculate the length of New Providence to the nearest.
Kilometer.
So put kilometer behind the answer right over here, km. Now we're not finished. The question then said, the question asks you, what is the, calculate the length of New Providence to the nearest kilometer. What is that answer to the nearest kilometer?
$34.
Why?
Because 3 is the number that you're looking at, then you go next door. 7 is 5 or more, so then you add 1 to 3.
Because there's a 7 at the back. Once the number is 5 or more at the back, you add a 1 to that number she underlined. So the answer is 34 kilometers to the nearest kilometer. Go ahead, write the answer. Very good. Okay, so that's number 11. Read number 12.
A circular road sign along West Bay Street has a diameter of 7 inches. Calculate its circumference. Use pi equals 22 over 7.
Okay, let's leave it there so they can get that. Now you're going to have to use the formula for circumference. You know what the formula is to find the circumference of a circle?
Pi d.
Pi times d, or 2 pi r. 2 times pi times the radius, or pi d is pi times the diameter. So let's do the working. Go ahead. Under this over here, do the working. So write C is equal to pi d, put pi d, pi d, pi times d, diameter, equal. And they told you what to write for pi. What's the value for pi?
22 over 7.
Let me show that. Pi is 22 over 7. Point to it, right? So that's what you put now. Pi, so write 22 over 7 times
7 over 1.
7 over 1. Show them where that 7 came from. 7 inches. The diameter is 7 inches, so that's how come she used 7 for D, 7 over 1. Okay,
Then you
cancel,
multiply.
cancel out. You can cancel. 7 into 7, 1. 7 into 7, 1. On the bottom is 1, so just what you left it on top
22.
equal to 22. And what's the answer in?
22 inches.
22 inches. Very good. Write it in. Okay, so for that one, you just needed to know the formula for the circumference, which is pi d, and put 22 over 7 times 7, which is diameter, over 1, and then you get your answer, 22 inches. Okay, read number 13, Rafaela.
Tamara can choose either chicken or turkey salad on white, wheat, or rye bread. How many different combinations can Tamara choose from?
So here we have a probability question, and it's saying she has some choices in terms of the meat, chicken or turkey, and she has some choices in terms of the bread, white, rye, wheat or rye bread. How do you work it, Rafaela?
You multiply how many her choices of
The meats. How many choices she has for the meats?
2.
2. So over them put 2. Just write 2 so we can make sure what numbers. Right over chicken or turkey. Just put 2. 2. Right? And then white, wheat or rye.
3.
So put 3 over the bread. And what do you multiply to get the answer?
2 and 3.
2 times 3. So put the answer in. 6, and it's combinations, right? 6 combinations you would have given that it was chicken or turkey on white, wheat or rye bread. So to find the answer, you multiply. Okay, go to number 14.
A parallelogram has a base of 4.05 centimeters and a height of 12 centimeters. Find the area of this figure if the product of the base and the height equals the area.
So they're giving you the formula for the area of a parallelogram. It says the area of it is equal to the product of the base and height. What does product mean? Product means you. What does product mean? Add? Subtract?
Multiply.
You multiply. Product means multiply. So first of all, write the formula. Go to the rough work page and put A is equal to, we're finding the area. A is equal to, and they said
Base times
the
height.
product, and put base times height. Base times height. That's what the product means. Okay, so the area for a parallelogram is the base times height. Now find the number for the base.
4.05 centimeters. And
So it's
the
4.05 and the height is,
12 centimeters.
so write those in. Under that put equal to, under it, equal to 4.05 times.
times 12.
Well, do the rough work to the back. Work it for me.
4.05 times 12.
Do it the short way. No, do 12. Multiply by 12. 12 fives. 12 times 5. So put down the 0 and put the 6. Put the 6. 12 times 0.
0.
And then 6. 0 plus 6.
6.
6. 12 fours.
48.
Put the 48. Fix the point.
2 decimal places.
So put the point in.
1, 2.
48.60, and its area, what would the answer be in?
Centimeters squared.
Square centimeters. Okay, write it across. Go ahead. And you have to remember to put it in square units because we're finding the area. Okay, we're nearly done. Go to number 15, Rafaela. Read it.
Solve for x. X minus 2 equals 5.
Tell us the answer right away because it's straightforward. What's the answer?
7.
So put 7 at the back of that and put a line under it for the answer. Okay, so x take away 2 is 5, and there's a way to work it, just in case you don't remember. Do the working over here for me, Rafaela. So we write x minus 2 is equal to 5. And then x is equal to, under that put x is equal to. So you have to get rid of the negative 2. And they say you take it across the equal sign, you have to change the sign. Or you can add, you can put positive 2 to get rid of the negative 2 to the front. So you have to put positive 2 to the back. Okay, let's take it across the equal sign. So write x is equal to 5. And then what you write at the back of that, 5. We carry the 2 across, change the sign.
Plus 2.
Plus 2, 5 plus 2. And then put x is equal to 7. Right, okay. That's where we got the 7 from. And we're in number 16 now. Read it.
Factorize 2y minus 8.
Okay, we need to do the rough work for that. Now we are factorizing an algebraic expression. Write it across here now. And let's factorize, right? 2y minus 8. Okay, 2y minus 8. Now, what number, we're looking at the two numbers, 2 and 8. What's common?
2.
2 is common, so put a line under the 2y and divide by 2. And put a line under the 8 and put a 2 on the bottom. And let's set up your answer. Under that put bracket, put a bracket. No, under here just write, put a bracket. Put 2 on the outside. Whatever you're dividing by, you put that number on the outside. We're dividing by 2, put 2 on the outside. Now divide 2y by 2. What are you left with? Show me. Divide by 2. Go to 2y over 2. Put a line through the 2. 2 to the bottom. 2 into 2 is 1. 2 into 2 is 1. And what are you left with?
1y.
Y. So just put y in the bracket. So that's where we got that y from. We divided by 2. Put the negatives, put minus, the minus sign. Now divide 8.
2 into 2 goes 1 time, and 2 into 8 goes 4 times.
So what do you put in the bracket?
4.
Y minus 4, close bracket.
Close bracket.
That's your answer. Okay. So you have to look and see what's common. Look at the numbers. And 2 is common for 2 and 8. So you divide by 2. You put the 2 on the outside of the bracket. And then whatever you're left with, you put that on the inside of the bracket after you've divided. Put the answer for me.
2 open bracket y minus 4 close bracket.
And if you multiply that back out, remove the brackets, you would get, remove the brackets, Rafaela, multiply that back out, what would the answer be? Remember we did removing brackets the other day? Remove the bracket for that, what would you get? Just tell me, don't write it. Multiply 2 by y?
2y minus 8.
8. So it works back out. Very good. Okay, nearly done. Number 17, Rafaela.
Equals 1, b equals 3, and c equals 5. Calculate a, b, c.
What does ABC mean?
A times b times c.
Okay, so what are you multiplying?
1 times 3 times 5.
And what's the answer?
15.
Okay, so put the answer up for me. ABC means you're multiplying, so you multiply 3 numbers, you get 15. Go to number 18.
Draw the reflection.
Go ahead. Okay, let's get a close-up of that. It says draw the reflection, and it's a P, so the reflection would be turned the other way. That shows you a reflection. If you put a mirror there and you look at it, it will be reflected like she drew it at the back. Very good, Rafaela. Now we are on number 19 and 20. Read the instructions.
Write an expression.
Wait, before that, use the shape.
Use this shape to answer questions 19 and 20.
19.
Write an expression for the perimeter of this shape.
Oh, that should be easy. We already did algebra. So go ahead, Rafaela. Do it here and then simplify it and put an answer for the perimeter.
X plus x.
Show me where you got it from.
This side and this side.
Okay.
Plus 5 plus 5.
Show me where you got that from.
From the top and the bottom.
Okay. Now simplify it. X plus x.
2x
And 5 plus 5.
10.
Write the answer.
2x plus 10.
Very good, you remembered. Okay, now let's see if you remember for the area. Write an expression for the area of this shape, number 20. What are you doing for that?
Multiply 5 and x.
Okay, so just put the answer. Put the answer on the line.
5x.
What else?
Meters squared.
Right, you're writing area, so you have to remember to write it in square units. 5x square meters. Very good. Okay, we have come to the end of the first test. I hope you got all of them correct. If you didn't get all correct, don't worry about it. Next time you'll have a chance to get more of them right. Rafaela?
Thank you for watching this video all the way to the end. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Share this video with family and friends. God bless you, and we'll see you in the next one.
That's a wrap.